Thank you out there. My apology. I thought I clicked back on the mic. Thank you, Bloods. Oh wow, I have to. My apology. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I feel so rusty now behind the monitor now. Yeah, let me just get back to what I was just saying for the content that you missed here. Boy, yes, I was just talking about this these dreams I've been having. Yeah, I'll just repeat what I just said. Um, Yesterday I had a what I call a vision uh, post waking up in the morning, and I had a a oops. Let me turn that off. I apologize for that. Let me turn it off. I apologize for that. I just turned off my phone. Yes, I had a dream, a vision yesterday, and this vision had to do with, again, large insects. And this particular insect that I saw was, it looked like a giant spider. And this, you can think of this spider like it was like coming downward from the ear. Now we can hear you and your cell phone. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, it's like I haven't really been uploading a lot of videos lately, and I start to forget certain things. I'm using OBS to help me with my live streaming. So yeah, I apologize for that. I thought I turned it back on. Yeah. So anyway, this vision that I saw featured these large spiders. It might have been maybe three of them, but they were coming downward. And like if like it's floating downward, it reminded me of an umbrella. If you know what the top of an umbrella looks like, how it's shaped. This thing reminded me of that shape, that it was able to float down because of the shape. And it had very skinny legs. It had a lot of legs, very skinny, and the tips of it was pointy. It looked black in color. And as always, it seems with these insects that I see when I have these type of early morning closed eye vision right after I wake up from a morning sleep or something like that, or dreaming, it seems like it could see me. And again, it always looks like I'm out in space. That's what's really unique about this. Yeah, like a dome with legs. Yes, Blitz. Yes, exactly, exactly. And it's just floating downward. And a lot of my visions that I have, that these insects could see me, even though maybe what I'm doing is like a remote viewing type of thing. I could see it like I'm watching a screen, so I don't think it's real. But it could see me. It's like I'm thinking that my, what do you call it? Like my energy body or something's there that those insects sees and is coming after me. I'm like just watching. I'm not moving, and I'm just watching these things. It's like someone like you ever see animals? You have a pet dog, and they're touching at the screen because they think it's real. That's what I think. Maybe that's what's happening with those insects or something. But interesting. Like I just mentioned about the giant spider. But a lot of this is the first time I remember seeing something that looked like that. But the other ones that I usually see, that they're either the large ants, what looks like it could be ants, and this other type of thing that looks similar, but the legs, it's like a stick leg, like a little skinny leg, but out from the legs it has these long hair-like things, almost spiky looking, all over it. And when it sees me, it's trying to get at me, and it's reaching its legs like that at my eyes, what would be my vision. And I'm wondering whether or not, I'm wondering whether, is it remote viewing that I'm doing? Am I in two locations at the same time? I'm wondering, have any of you viewers, have Blitz, have this, has this ever happened to you? Do you like meditate, and do you have these experiences? And again, all these things that I see, it always see, I only see these insets with the morning vision. I never see this type of stuff, let's say when I'm doing a formal meditation, like I'm out and about, I'm at my table, and I have my candles and incense, and I do like a formal meditation. It's not like when I'm just waking up in the morning and I'm just staying in bed and keeping my eyes closed, and I may see a vision. So it only seems to happen in the morning vision, but never in a formal meditation session in the afternoon or evening. So I started to theorize that what could be happening, it's like you have like different dimensions. And I think I mentioned this before. You have like your dream life, a typical dream, and then the next phase is this other realm, and then this 3D, my current 3D realm. And I think what's happening is that the dream world and then my, this 3D world, that border in between is like a bleed through. And this bleed through is, I don't know what, I'm wondering whether it's my avatar. Because this in-between place seems, because I have consciousness with it. Okay, let me read what you're mentioning. Okay, Blitz is saying, maybe you had an astral projection and your consciousness went into the body of what the spider caught on his net. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was caught. I felt like an observer. And I was the same type of observer, whether it be the ants or the what looked like a crab-like thing with hair or spikes on the legs. Yeah, I don't feel hindered or trapped in any way. I'm just a spectator. But that is interesting. Yeah, I think what's happening is that it's I think it's a real realm, and that like another vision that I had that I uploaded in an earlier video about sometimes I'm on Earth, or what looks like Earth, and I'm in a residential area, but it seems real. And again, it's somewhat three-dimensional, like I'm looking into a screen. I'm looking into it, and it's even sharper than a screen, because a screen is flat. This one looks like I'm actually within this three-dimensional, but somehow I'm just able to be an observer of it. But I don't actually, I can't like touch anything, not yet. That would really be interesting if I could get myself to move around in it. When I see it, I'm just experiencing it. I'm not like interacting with it. But maybe I could try. Maybe I could say in my mind, I want to walk there, or I want to open that door. That would really be something else. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. But yeah, I think this early morning vision is something that I should really pay attention to, because it's saying that I'm able to only tap into a particular realm at a particular time. And so, being that most people sleep during the night and wake up in the morning, I'm thinking that because more and more I'm thinking that this body in 3D is an avatar. For those of you who saw the movie Avatar, that you had the blue aliens and then you had the humanoids, the human beings, and that this person was able to toggle in between both lives. I'm thinking that since most of us do sleep during the day, that so I'm also thinking also like the Matrix, and that this life is being exploited. That's what I'm starting to think now, that you have beings that exploit our being here in this 3D world, and they're able to manipulate us. They manipulate and control what you see on television, the whole world, you know, like the movie They Live by John Carpenter. That movie came out in the 1980s. So those of you who aren't familiar with it, they have on YouTube like small clips of it. The whole movie, they pulled it off of YouTube, but you may be able to find little, trailers of that movie, and it'll show you. And that's what I'm thinking, that slowly but surely, slowly you have these outsiders, and they're, and like the movie The Matrix, that you're enslaved by them. And so they exploit our consciousness in the daytime when we're awake. But then there's another side to us in this other dimension, and it may run parallel to this one, and I think you can toggle in between, but it's only being registered during those hours from when they really are monitoring us from at nighttime. It's like, if I didn't explain well, like the regular dreams that we tend to have in the evening, that's what they want you to see. Okay, I call that filler. But I think that filler is a buffer from where you go when you sleep. But they want you preoccupied, your part of your conscious preoccupied on these, regular dreams that you would have. They could be pleasant dreams or scary dreams, but they're just something to occupy your mind. And that's what they put in. But when I'm seeing with the insects that I'm like a bleed through, that after the dream I'm supposed to just be completely awake, but I'm kind of cheating, and I'm keeping my eyes closed, and it thinks, I guess, that I'm awake, that because soon when you open your eyes, it changes what you can see, sunlight, or light in general breaks that rhythm that goes against your retina. So when that happens, it's hard to come back to that particular state, that buffer zone between the dream, the regular dreams that we have, and this 3D life that we have. But I'm getting a sneak peek, I think. Again, I could be wrong, but I share these things with you because this is very new to me. I don't understand. I'm new with this genre. I never followed about UFOs, things like that. But now, since I've introduced meditation in my life since, I think, 2014, I'm experiencing more things. You know, I was just a regular person, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. But I know now, through these experiences, that there's more to life. And then I also want to talk about, let me see here, okay. Blitz is saying maybe the concept of walking and touching doesn't apply in that specific dimension. That, yes, yeah, that's a good point too. But it'll be interesting. But I think it could hear me because, like I said, like with the what looks like the lobster, the hairy arm one, that when I think I verbalized or thought in my mind that I want to see those, what I'm looking at, clearer. It didn't want me to see it. And it seemed to know, because soon when I said it, it grabbed out what would have been my face. So, yeah, you definitely felt a negative energy due to the frequency your consciousness tuned into. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, but you know, something might be an insect, but doesn't mean that it's a negative energy. Because, like, if you think of humans, just because you see a certain type of human doesn't make it bad or good. It's just something you're seeing. Just like if someone, let's say that thing comes into my world. If I saw this thing in my three-dimensional world, I would be afraid. Or if any stranger comes into my room uninvited, you know, I would, excuse me, I would be scared too. But it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's a negative energy. But I heard that some YouTubers out there, researchers in UFOs, that they're saying that some of the most intelligent of the beings are the insectoids, the one that looks like a praying mantis. I've never seen that, the praying mantis, but I'm wondering where do these things live? That's what I want to find out. Where do these insects live? So and I give this information because maybe some of you have seen these insects and maybe you have more experience with them and maybe you know where they're from. I have no idea. But to me, they seem like they could be, it looks like I'm in some type of craft. Could you see a big window and what looks like space or darkness outside? So, yeah, I know I wanted to say something else. Yeah, I noticed, like, are you guys out there, are you familiar with hypnosis, what they call the past life regression? Now, I've had that done 4 times. And unfortunately, I never had any, I didn't see any past life, anything of the, let's see, the first 2 times, I think it was an instant, maybe a little more than an instant, maybe 5 seconds long, I thought I saw something. But the other 2, absolutely nothing. But the last 3, I had, my body was vibrating. But that was it. I didn't have any awareness. But what I want to talk to you about, because I think it's still with the same genre, you know, regarding the past lives, because a lot of the people who are having these, going to these hypnosis sessions, that they may channel information about beings from other worlds. So that's why I want to talk about this as well. I'm a little confused about something. Now, I used to follow the work of Dolores Cannon. I respect her work. I learned of Dolores Cannon in 2016, the year that she transitioned. She's no longer here. but she transitioned in 2016, I think late 2016. And that's around the time that I actually started seeing her videos on YouTube. Now, Dolores Cannon's work, she started out, well, she was married. Her husband worked for the military. I'm not sure whether he was in the military at the time or he just worked for the military as a civilian, but he used to counsel the the military and their spouses, and he had hypnotized this one woman, and in a spontaneous this past life awareness came to her during a hypnosis session, and she had several past lives, it turned out. Now, with Dolores's work, so the husband started, that's what the husband did for a living. He was a therapist, hypnosis therapist, and then the husband gets in an extremely bad car accident, almost dies, and now Dolores Cannon has to take care of her family. She had children and her husband, and so she had to navigate everything and support her family. And she eventually does the same type of work her husband does. So I don't know whether she already knew how to do hypnosis before the husband's accident. That I'm not sure with. But either way, she also became a hypnotherapist, and she started finding some of the clients who would have a spontaneous past life awareness and would recall different events. Now, my question about this is, like, now with Miss Cannon's work, everything seems to be pointing to more of a new age type of, like, love and light type of thing. She had interviewed like a something with, she got information about Jesus. She communicated through the client. What's that? Nicodeme? Not Nicodeme. What's the guy? The French guy. It starts with an N. I forget the name. But he prophesied stuff. It'll come to me. So she has that and all these. It's like, how does this happen? And even when Mrs. Cannon interviewed different clients, some of them still got in contact with the same, Nostradamus. That's the name, Nostradamus. She was able to get in contact with Nostradamus. He's a he's a figure from, I think, the 1400s or 1500s, and he's a Jewish man. I think he might have converted to Christianity, but either way, he prophesied, and he wrote these quatrains, I think it's called. And she allegedly, during a session with a client, during a hypnosis session, she was able to get in contact with this Nostradamus. And again, she talked to, like, even with some different clients, that this person, Nostradamus, connected even with that other person that she's communicating with. So why is it that certain connections are being connected when Dolores Cannon is doing her sessions? Now, again, I mentioned that I had 4 different sessions myself, past life regression sessions, and again, it wasn't successful. I didn't have any past life stuff, but there were a total of 3 people. 2 of them, one of them I had 2 sessions with, and then 2 other people. So it's a total of 3 people but 4 sessions I had. And so with these people's work, I noticed, at least with one of them, it was another lady, the theme of her work is very reminiscent of Dolores Cannon's work. And the man that I had, the first one, he also was trained directly by Dolores Cannon. But how is it that, if a session is a session, how is it that only certain souls or consciousness like to attach to who Dolores is trying to hypnotize? Now, hypnosis is not a new. It's not a new craft. You have other people who did hypnosis. The traditional hypnosis. Someone who wants to lose weight or stop smoking, just like how Dolores Cannon started out with just using it for stuff like that, and then boom, a spontaneous past life manifestation came about. She and her husband wasn't looking for that. It just spontaneously happened. So how come? See, I'm at this time in my life, I'm really trying to analyze what's going on and try to make distinctions why one thing and not another. Now you have other hypnotists or hypnotherapists out there, but you don't hear them talking about Nostradamus or anybody else. How come it didn't spontaneously occur with the other people? And what I'm thinking is this, and again, I say this not so much as a poo-poo on Dolores Cannon, because I respect. I mean, she was the facilitator of this client, and it was the client that shared this information through a hypnosis state. But Dolores Cannon's husband worked for the military, as I said, and I'm starting to wonder whether these events that happened to Dolores Cannon's husband and herself, whether it was triggered by the military. Yes, that's what I'm wondering, whether or not those things that was being channeled via past life regression, whether this was an equipment or a device that the government was using and tapping into that person and making them see stuff. Because the military is always experimenting with their tools of their trade. And again, this was she started out in the 1960s. And during the 1960s, you had many people, many practitioners of hypnotherapy. But none of these people, and again, hypnotherapy is used all over the world, at least in the Western world. So what made it spontaneously only initially happen to Dolores Cannon's husband and then Dolores Cannon herself? The only thing that I could see is that they worked for the military. And I'm wondering whether or not the military was experimenting with the device that could tap into the people's people's mind and make them see things. Because again, I had 4 different sessions, past life regression sessions, but I never saw a past life. So what makes some people able to actually see a past life and others not? Also, what encouraged me to even do the past life regression session was because, like with Dolores Cannon, she says that when you use her method of hypnosis, you go into what's called the somnambulistic phase or state of mind. and in that state, you you can't recall it. It's like you're in the moment, and then when you wake up from the session, the hypnosis session, you have no recollection of what you just talked about. So I thought, wow, and it's only during this state, according to Dolores Cannon, that you have this past life regression, you know. But again, there are people who have past life regressions, and they do remember some of the things that they saw. Some of them remember most of the stuff, and some of them remember some. But according to Dolores Cannon, that her method is a very strong method to get to that state where you're so much under hypnosis that when you wake up from it, you don't even recall what you said. And I was hoping that I would have that experience, and during this session they were recording the session too. So, but unfortunately I did not encounter that. So let me get my little doggy down. Yeah, okay, he's gonna go. Yeah. Yeah, let me look at the comments here. Let's see. Okay, Blitz is also saying, and is you had a microscopic view, even bacteria would look like giant ants. Okay. Yeah. MK Ultra maybe. Yes. They hack your mental. Yes. That's what I'm wondering. And again, I'm not saying this to poo-poo her work. Miss Dolores Cannon worked very, very professional. I've never met her. But she seems to be a woman who was very professional at what she did. She took what she did seriously, and she wrote about 20 books. So she kept very good logs of everything. But like when you see the message, like if you take all the messages from all these sessions that she had over the 40 plus years she'd been doing hypnotherapy, it's like painting a picture, like a new age, like what new age people are promoting, that the earth is going to change energy or something, and something about a 5-dimension, a 5D world, and I don't know. So I'm just a little confused. Hypnosis is not a new phenomenon, but it's just all of a sudden in the 1960s, this past life in the Western world is being focused on. I mean, introduced. But like places like India, they, in their culture and their religion, they know about what they call past life, but they don't have like past life regression. They believe in reincarnation. But now in what they call the Western world, that understanding is being introduced, and seems to be introduced via the past life regression hypnosis sessions. So I'm more and more thinking that something is up. You know, you can't have, you just can't have a phenomenon just happen with one therapist. It would have to happen all over. I really start to wonder, and I know there was something else I wanted to say about that. The contrast between different, like, again, Dolores Cannon's work and people who trained under her. It seems like their clients have that edge to them, the new age type of thing. But then when you talk to, you know, when you see other practitioners, you know, it's just a different feel. I don't know. So that's all that I have to say right now. Yeah, but definitely let me know what your thoughts are about past life regression, and how is it that Some people are promoting the new age type of feel of the end of the world and a new earth, versus someone else and their experiences with hypnosis and the themes that their clients may experience. And again, I have I mentioned again the vision, that the early morning closed eye vision of the giant spider, and how it's only in this daytime session that I have the dreams, the visions of the insects, and not during any other formal meditation that I would have, like in the afternoon or even the evening. So what's going on? So I really think, I'm really wondering that what we see is being influenced, and it's just not us alone, but something else that might be facilitating these experiences that we have in the dream state, or during a hypnosis or a past life regression session. Let me know what you think. So again, you can comment below. You can share this video with friends or family members, and you could subscribe to my channel and give me the thumbs up. And last but not least, if you like the content of this video and my channel, I invite you to donate to my channel, Spirit Journey. You can go on my channel, and at the top banner on the right hand side, you'll see a PayPal Me icon that you can press on and follow the links, and you could donate what you wish, and a gift from the heart. So I thank you in advance for watching my channel, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.